First of all, thank you for entertaining me. It was fun.
Thank you.
I had a good time, so that's good. And second, I can understand almost everything, so that's great. You know, you did well. And there were a lot of things that you had that you didn't really need. Because in a short comedy, anything that slows it down, you don't want. So people reading, the narration slows everything down, so you don't need it. And changing the set, you should try not to change the set. Or, if you have to change the set, just dim the light, or put a blue light, is the traditional way. Put a blue light on. But there were some times when you could change the set and make it part of the play, getting ready for the party or whatever, you know, moving everybody. You know, you didn't need to stop the action of the play. And reading, particularly, really slows things down. Okay? You don't need the narration. You don't need to say, this is Bill. Bill is standing in the forest, and then Bill says, I'm Bill. It's not necessary, you know. It's much better to put it in conversation, everything that you need. Okay, and then the same is true for props. If the props are funny and they're part of something you want to do, that's fine. But you don't really need props. If I'm walking through the forest, okay? You know, I can walk through the forest, right? You don't need that. If I need a gun, I've got a gun. If I need a sword, I've got a sword. You know, it's all in your mind, right? So if you don't have props, and our school doesn't have a department that makes things for the theater, you know, it takes a long time, right? And if you don't have a long time, then don't worry about it and keep it simple. You know, simple is better than it is to stop the action just to move stuff around that doesn't look like the real thing anyway, right? You know? Okay. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about was that most of you chose to do a kind of comedy that's called farce. And a farce is a physical comedy, and it relies on overstatement, like instead of I love you, it's I love you, you know, and everyone laughs, right? Okay? Farce is a kind of comedy that gets a lot of laughs, right? Now, unfortunately for those of you who try to do straight comedy generally does not make people laugh. You know that when you go to the movies and you watch a comedy, right? You don't hear a lot of people going, ah, right? It lifts your spirits and your heart, okay? But it also takes better acting, you know? Whereas farce is sort of silly and you can have a lot of fun and people will laugh, right? And so most of you chose to do farce, which was probably a wise decision, because it's easier, you see, than trying to do straight comedy. But those of you who did try to do straight comedy, you deserve credit for trying to do something that's not easy to do. All right? So, congratulations to everybody on that. And see if there's anything else, probably, but I forgot. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, I know, one last thing was I thought, when you put Taiwanese gestures into it and Taiwanese characters, I thought it was better. Because you know how Taiwanese fathers act, right? And you know how Taiwanese girls act, whereas you don't know how Western fathers act, right? So, and sometimes when you were doing your farces, it was clear to me that you were being Taiwanese, and that's good. I mean, your government wants to make English a Taiwanese language, not an American language. You know what I mean? You're supposed to still be Taiwanese, and so I liked that. I enjoyed that. And then, oh yeah, one final thing. I liked the music, but if you ever do a play and you want the world to see it, you have to realize that if you put in that music, YouTube is going to take it out. The whole thing. Everything. All the sound. So there won't be any voices either. You have to remember that, okay? Because, this has happened to me where I had a class and I thought it was great and they did a great job. And unfortunately, they put in music towards the end, and so, so try to remember that.